Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Lisa Heintzelman with us. She is the president of Illuminations Consulting. So welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for joining us. We'll dive in. The first question I have for you, Lisa, is what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Actually, as I was growing up, I really wasn't a stellar student, and I wasn't sure why. So instead of accepting that, I decided to pursue a career in education and figure it out. That's when I realized that while my schooling didn't work for me, I didn't necessarily fit into a box, and we all learn and process differently. So I was on a mission to provide a quality education for all. And after learning from great mentors, and especially children and my students, I've expanded my horizons. So today I'm engaging and working with those big kids who are now adults, launching and running their own businesses and being leaders within organizations. So what I've learned is we're not necessarily working up to our potential or capitalizing on our opportunities. So through Illuminations Consulting, I focus on maximizing individual team and organizational potential.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
It's really essential to develop your competitive edge, thinking about the problems you solve, the value that you bring, and why do business with you. It's not just about the products and services that we offer. It's not about you. It's about what's in it for me, your potential customer or client. And so think about how are you providing the opportunity for customers to buy and clients to engage.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Yeah, I think the big one is leave your ego at the door and surround yourself with the very best people. Make sure that you're engaging with experts and being a lifelong learner.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
While I knew I was embarking on a journey, I had no idea about the opportunities that would prevent themselves. And so it's essential to pay attention and be engaged. Think both outside the box and bigger box to explore your opportunities.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
I think embracing your spirit and pursuing your passion. And so my mantra is work smart, achieve results, and celebrate often.
And what's the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I think it's cool about your question about number one thing, because my favorite book is The One Thing by Gary Keller of Keller Williams. And he really talks to us about identifying that one thing to focus on or prioritize so that by doing that, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So it's really essential to determine how are you investing your time and energy in activities to achieve the results that you desire.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
This is a difficult question. I keep an ongoing list of quotes and utilize them in my coaching for my clients to explore and reflect upon. But here's one of my favorites that I often start off with in my business coaching. Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change the world. And that's quoted by Joel Barker.
Yeah.
It's really essential to explore and answer the question and reflect upon what's your why to create your vision and implement your plan and to ultimately optimize your success.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is where's the best place for people to find you online?
You can find me at illuminationsconsulting.com. My email is lisa@illuminationsconsulting.com. I really like the LinkedIn platform, and so you can find me at Lisa Heintzelman on LinkedIn and also on Facebook at Lisa Heintzelman or Illuminations Consulting.
Perfect. Thank you again, Lisa. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate the opportunity. Take care.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.